What's up, YouTubers? Today we're going to talk about the Kizer Swayback, specifically the Kizer Vanguard series Swayback designed by Swags. The Vanguard series is just kind of the lower end, more budget-friendly model from Kizer, but I got to tell you, this is almost indistinguishable from some of the other Kizers I've handled, full Kizers. This is a button lock flipper with red micarta. Yes, this is actually micarta. It's very difficult to tell. It was so slippery, I was sure it was GFN or FRN, but no. Actually, I spit on it, I'll be honest. And it actually got stickier. So yeah, the grip improved. So I do believe this is actually micarta. This is a 3-inch blade made of Bowler N690 steel, which is probably akin to VG10, maybe 154 cm. So kind of a budget steel, but not a terrible steel. I have not sharpened this yet, and I've run this through quite a bit for the last few weeks. This knife weighs 2.6 ounces and prices at $60 US. In terms of some comparison knife options, I think, just in terms of price-wise, the Civivi Cogent, which, this is obviously a fairly recent release, it handles completely differently, but in terms of price-wise, as a button lock goes, this is comparable. I think the Cogent goes for like around 80 bucks or so. I think. No, maybe 70 bucks. In any case, I know the Altus is on the way, but we don't yet have that in hand. It's literally on the way. Also, in that same price range, the Orion Knives Solaris. This one has a shorter blade. Instead of a 3.5, this one is like 3.12. The Swags is the 3.0-inch blade. So very close in terms of that. Now, you might say, I'm going to go ahead and move the Civivi Cogent out of the way. But in terms of, you might say, oh, that's a huge blade. Well, it's actually, in terms of blade stock, the Orion Knife Solaris is only 0.12 blade stock inches, and the Swayback here is 0.11. So it's very similar. And if you actually consider the high grind on that one, it actually slices similarly. It is obviously a lot more robust, though, too, because there's no top swedge on there, whereas there is a swedge on the Swayback here. So that would definitely be an option. In terms of maybe a use option, with this being a Warncliffe, the ProTech Malibu, it's in a different price range, different, truly fit and finish, toughness, in terms of the aluminum, everything about this one, the action, basically the perfection of build, it's different. It's a $200 knife. So, whereas this one is $60. But in terms of the use of the blade, I know that also they make the Malibu in a Warncliffe. I've not been able to get one. The Malibus are just very elusive. So that's just the way of the world right now, I guess. So those could be kind of some comparisons or alternatives. Let's jump right into the pros of this one. This is a thin and slicey blade. They do have a marvelous swedge on top there, and it just makes for great slicing. Absolutely love that. This is also Detroit legal. I just happened to be in Detroit recently, and this is a 3-inch knife, and that is the limit. Not necessarily for the state of Michigan, but in Detroit, it was nice. Also, very, very easily, you can just push the button, open this out, and I did have actually use for this at a steakhouse. And it was nice to be able to just kind of pull that out silently. So the deployment of that was really nice to be able to do. It just is a lot better than the shitty-ass steak knives that they provided there. This is a non-threatening shape. If you kind of look at this one, well, let's see if I can get it in there. But this kind of looks like a pregnant seahorse. Maybe I'll look at it like that. So this is truly not a super threatening knife. Like I said, you push the button, you can pull this out in as quiet a way as you want. Not a problem. So that's kind of a good thing, and actually filled out well. The hand-filling nature of this one, this is not a super thin knife. If you kind of take a look at this, let's go with the ProTech here. They're similar in size. In fact, this one's just a smidge wider, the Kizer. So you get a nice hand grip. It fits a medium-large hand, all 4 fingers. Very nice. And also you notice that I was able to actually do quite a bit of carving and chopstick whittling. It was much more comfortable with some other knives. I forgot which one it was, but I compared it to another one, and this one has a nice feel in the hand. So really good hand feel there in terms of kind of a small 2.6 ounce knife. Fits well. The Warncliffe is awesome. The Warncliffe shape itself is really good for bubble wraps, and then of course any sort of draw cutting. But yeah, went ahead and got that in there. The swedge on this, fantastic. Again, it makes for some great relief when you're going through boxes. Also got a little quick video of that one. And the liner cutouts to reduce the weight, very nice. You can see lots of pocket lint in there and pocket love, I'll say. But yeah, again, 3-inch blade, 2.6 ounces. And this definitely punches above its weight. But, not super, super robust. This only has two screw construction. Love it. You got your pivot, and then you got your one barrel spacer back here. Everything else open back. So I love that. And I didn't find that it felt wimpy at all. This knife really, really felt really good in the hand. In terms of the button here, I really love that they recessed the button. Look at that. You do have that button recessed in there, so it's less apt to come open in your pocket. And I really like that. I think that's one of the things that ProTech really is kind of the ruler on, is recessing button locks in there. So great thing there. And then the last thing is, drop that. The full ambidexterity of this knife. You have your pocket clip, fully functional and great one-handed. Works great left-handed, tip up only. Absolutely perfect. All the things that you can do right-handed, you can do left-handed. So very good as far as ambidexterity. On the con side of this one, I will say with gloves, this one's pretty crummy. One of the great advantages of button locks is that, there I go again, flying knives, is that they tend to be really good with use of gloves, depending on the deployment. The deployment's not terrible on this one, but it is, the flipper is not the greatest, and it's just such a small knife, very difficult, not good in the hand. Again, being so small, this one just doesn't have the hand feel of some kind of these other ones. And there's the ProTech. And then actually, I would say for me, probably the best one in hand is this big old Orion knife Solaris. The Kojin is also a little bit better. So not really good in gloves. That's definitely one of the cons on this knife. The flipper being at a 90-degree angle, you can see this flipper. It almost demands that your finger get all the way up there for comfort, and light switch it down. As a push, it's not terrible, but it's not super comfortable. I think they could have probably just put a small amount of cant on that thing, just a little bit of an angle. I've seen it with many others. Actually, the SOG Terminus comes to mind. Just a little bit of angle on that one, and they would make for a nice push button. The push button is not super comfortable on this one, so not a huge fan of that. And then the last thing is the micarta is super polished. I think if they had just simply left that kind of a rough, I'll give you an example. The Kizer does such a good job with their micarta. This one is the mini cleaver, the mini sheepdog. I absolutely love this micarta. Rough, it feels like great linen or cloth. Absolutely marvelous feel in hand. I'm not entirely sure. This one feels, like I said, a GRN or FRN. It's just very slippery in the hand. So this one slips out of your hand a lot unless it's wet. But when it's dry, I found that it definitely was slipping out of my hand a fair bit, especially since you have the polishing here on your liners. So I wish that had actually been made rough. I might do that myself, just disassemble this thing and just sand it up with some, 200 grit sandpaper, maybe 400 grit, just to rough it up a little bit. And then I think that might be the feel that I'm looking for. So overall, I would say that this is a can't miss value knife. And really, all I have to say is way to go Swags, way to go Kizer. As a low budget knife, or not super low budget, but $60 knife, the quality you're getting here is fantastic. It's been, look at that. It's basically dead center as it has been for a few weeks, and super use. Wow. Yeah, this is an absolute home run knife. Definitely for the price, and if you're looking for a button lock, can't miss. So hope you did enjoy this. If you did, go ahead and hit like and subscribe, and have a great day for yourselves. Take care now.